Hi. I found these metal detecting, and they give me superpowers.
When I drink my coffee, I don't notch out the caffeine. And then I ground balance, throw a blender on my beans. I pour some maple syrup for a dose of dopamine. Then I stir with my pinpointer, it vibrates impurities. I like to drink it cold because of allergy. Yeah, my middle name is George, and I swung and found a 3. But who's this goofy guy? So enough about me. I'm doing this for Liz from the land of the Mounties. So come and join the party, you are always welcome here. It's Canadian coffee, we're not drinking Boston tea. So I'll tell you off the cuff that Liz is the MC. With all of the detectorists, you'll have epiphany. You'll see me in the chat, Metal Detecting NYC. Be prepared to hit the like button for all her artistry. So live from Ontario, it's her Sunday morning gig. Yo, Saskatchewan, take a seat, digging Canuck is here.
Hello and welcome to the stream. My name is Liz and this is not coffee. It is just water, but nonetheless, right on, right on. Today, I will be chatting with Ryan from Quins Coins. You will have an amazing chance to ask him anything about coin collecting. About coin collecting, and gotta say, he also dabbles in metal detecting and magnet fishing. So if this is the first time you are joining me, you're watching this on the replay, just want to say that and you want to skip ahead to the chat with Ryan, that is okay. There will be timestamps in the description down below. But first, I just want to say, well, I guess I want to ask you all, everybody, let's all take like a second and a half, hit the like button on this stream. It not only helps the stream to rank a little bit higher, but just one day we might be suggested on someone's homepage, and like, how cool would that be? That would be like beyond anything I can think of. So right on. First and foremost, I need to say hello to everyone in the chat. Oh my goodness, I think I just lost my audio. What was that? Oh my goodness, I just had something come onto my screen and it said that my mic has been unplugged. Oh, what is going on here? Oh my gosh, something's going on here. Oh my goodness. Well, let's hope it's working. Oh my goodness. All right, so I need to say hello to everyone in the chat. All right, so I'm going to do that right this very second. Oh my goodness, I tell you, got relics, Rhode Island in my house. Thank you very much for popping in. The lovely Linda Wallace here as well. Linda, thank you very much. GTA Dave, hello. Malaysia, we have the Malaysia metal detector in the house. Truly international Malaysia. Hello. And thank you for joining. American Woodland Relics in the house. I hope that he and Ambient are really rested up after their 24-hour of live streams Friday and Saturday. So yeah, get yourself a coffee if you need some Java, and yeah, thank you for joining. Right on. Gabriel Barlow says, good morning. The Rebel Digger also front and center, as is 508 Magnets. My goodness, right on. Straight Up Metal Detecting a Tripwire was also a participant in the 24 hours. Monk Cheetah, 2 cups for Monk Cheetah. Yeah, right on. Let's continue to go down the list. Coins for Amateurs. Chad is in my house today. My goodness. Chad, of course, is here to support Ryan. How cool is that? Thank you, Chad. The weird guy in the park is here, as is Jimmy Klug. Jimmy, thank you. Drace says, good morning. First time in the hobby. So Drace, welcome to the community. There are a ton of amazing channels in the chat. Feel free to chit-chat, and they're all very nice people, and nobody bites. And check out their channels, and guaranteed you will learn a ton. You will learn a ton. Great way to network if you are just starting out. Mr. Ludak, hello. Oh my goodness. Ambient girl Nancy is here. Hopefully she too is rested up. I am scrolling down my list. Steve Shepard says good morning. Good morning to you, Steve. Mark Thomas is here. He says 365 days of soft live streams coming up. Oh my goodness, seriously. Mark Santasaria. Mark, good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate that. Oh my, what happened? What just happened there? Wow, lots of stuff going on the screen today. Mark Fiorella. Mark says hello from Buffalo, New York. Mark, the weather is going to be getting really, really nice the first bit of the week. We have like 12 degrees, which is like maybe 58 maybe on Tuesday. So I hope that you're also going to get the same weather that we are. So right on. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I think I've said hello to each and every one of you. If I have missed saying hello, just put an @DiggingCanuck. It will get my attention on this side, and I will say hello to you. So right on. All right. Okay. Like I said, this is not coffee, but let's all pretend that it is coffee. So cheers to each and every one of you this morning. Goalie WB, my digging buddy Jeff in the house. Right on. Robert Hunter Collinson says hello from across the pond. Right on. All right, so I'm going to bring my guest into the chat. So let me pop this screen up. I will bring my guest into the stream. There he is. Ryan, how are you?
Hi, good. Can you hear me all right?
I can totally hear you. So Ryan, welcome to the stream. I'm actually thrilled to have you on board. Now, for those people who don't or who are not familiar with you, I was going to read your bio on your YouTube page, but I came across a channel trailer. Is it okay if I play that?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Let me play that, and then we will get into the chat. So if you've not heard about Ryan or seen him on Twitter or on YouTube, this little trailer kind of explains everything he does. So enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Quins Coins, your home for treasure hunting of all kinds. On this channel we mainly do three things. Number 1, coin roll hunting. Number 2, metal detecting. And number 3 is silver stacking. If you're unfamiliar with these three activities, they're basically the most addicting hobbies in the world. Coin roll hunting is all about going around to your local banks, picking up boxes of coins like this, and searching through them for valuable and interesting coins.
That is really freaking cool, guys.
This is unbelievable. That's a V nickel. And you can see the date right there, 1911.
I see a 6 on that, so I'm guessing this is going to be another 40%. It's definitely silver. I bet that's a 90% looking at the color of that.
Metal detecting is all about looking for lost treasures of the past, and it's a lot more unpredictable.
It's sterling silver. I'm not sure what the gemstone is, but that is absolutely beautiful.
Really, really awesome button. It's like there's something inside.
And silver stacking is all about finding silver coins either for a good price or for free in circulation, like these.
1953. I got a 1928, 43. There was actually a barber quarter sitting in that pile.
Think of collecting sports cards or blind bag unboxings, exploring and discovering treasures that you didn't even know existed. You'll get all of this and more through these three great hobbies that I bring to you every single week. It's all about the thrill of the hunt, and you never know what you're gonna get. Voted as probably the most entertaining coin roll hunting channel on YouTube by this fan. So if you're someone with an irrational fear of weekly treasure hunts or exciting scores, then I strongly encourage you to go back to whatever you were watching before this. Those of you who remain, welcome aboard.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my channel. Whether you're on a mobile device or a computer, you can subscribe to my channel by pressing the icon in the top left corner of your screen. Also, be sure to check out all of the different playlists I made for you. There's the Search for Silver, Detecting, and my original coin roll hunting series. They're all on screen now, so check them out. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below on what else you'd like to see on this channel. Alright, that's all for now. Peace.
Wow, wow, wow. My goodness. That has got to be one of the coolest trailers. I gotta say that it kind of says what you do. So great trailer.
Yeah, that's probably 4 years old now that I think about it. The one thing that I don't really do much anymore that I said there is the silver stacking. I'm looking to get back into it, but yeah, I've definitely picked up more in the coin roll hunting and metal detecting. And like you said, I did do one video dabbling in magnet fishing, so I'm kind of thinking about doing that maybe this summer a little bit as well.
Right on. Now, do you remember when you first became interested in coins, like collecting coins?
Yeah, that was I was very young. I couldn't tell you the exact age, probably around 10. I posted a few things showing this, but basically the influence came from my father and my grandfather. Excuse me. Yeah, so my dad definitely got me into it. He brought me on a lot of metal detecting hunts, and the coin roll hunting thing I didn't really figure out until later on. I had always been looking through coins in my change, you know, like Quins for Amateur always says, keep checking that change.
Yes.
But I never had the idea to go to the bank and actually buy rolls. That came a little bit later. So, but yeah, metal detecting was always a thing. Looking through change was always a thing for me, you know, going back to 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say about 5 years ago, I picked up the coin roll hunting and then upgraded my metal detector and started doing this a little bit more, more full time, I'd say.
Right now. Now, you decided to create a YouTube channel. Not a lot of people do that. What was your, like, you have over 52,000 subscribers. That is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
What were your thoughts about creating a channel?
So the channel origins, I'm sure not a lot of people know this. It was actually just a channel to post whatever. I was making short films, and I even currently have a short films playlist, so you can go back to those old days like 5 years ago to see what I used to be posting on the channel. It used to be called _, and had a name change quite a while ago. The _, was supposed to symbolize the new internet, like the internet of the future, and how things would be spread and how we could share, you know, short movies and stuff like that. Because there's a thing called Internet 2.0. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but it was the original channel. And I did this with a friend of mine from college. So we would post videos every week. So I would post one, then he'd post one. And that's kind of how the channel got started. And then I started kind of dabbling in these different hobbies. Once I got to college, I got a little bit bored. I didn't join any social clubs. So I was looking for something to do in my spare time, and also something to make videos out of. And that's sort of when I got back into coin roll hunting, or well, not got back into it, but started kind of looking into coin collecting, and then that led to coin roll hunting. Eventually, my friend who was originally on the channel wasn't interested in it anymore, and he sort of gave ownership over to me, and that's when I changed the name to Quins Coins, because I basically stopped posting the short videos and vlogs and stuff like that, and was just solely focused on coin roll hunting content for and moving forward from there.
Okay. Linda Wallace, who's in the chat, she just said that yours is the first YouTube channel she ever watched, and you're the one that actually got her hooked.
Wow, that's pretty good. I didn't know that, Linda. That's awesome, because you're such a big staple in the community now.
Yes, she's I think she's on most, if not all, channels that have anything to do with coins.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely a big supporter of Coins for Amateurs and other channels that I see.
Yeah. Now you're the first, I guess the first coin roll hunting video that you ever posted was in 2017. and you were hunting $half.
Yes, yeah. The first coins that I wanted to hunt, because I was on the forums. I don't know if you're familiar with TreasureNet, and
Ah,
yeah, so they were. I think the biggest scores were always in $half, and
wow.
that's sort of what I saw, and I was thinking like, okay, is it really possible to get, large silver coins in circulation? Like that would be awesome because you can actually make a profit if you can find those.
Yeah.
Um, the first time I went to the bank, I got it was like a cup of $half, and one of them was like a 67 silver, I think. So that kind of got me hooked. But what really I think turned it for me was you saw in that channel trailer that you showed. I found a really nice score. It was a bunch of V nickels. One of them was an ender, and actually I have that right here. You can kind of see 1911 V
Wow.
nickel, and that video went viral for me. And that's sort of what kind of made it kind of decided in my mind, like, okay, I'm going to do coin rolling stuff. And oh, and then I think this one showed in the trailer as well. It was it wasn't an ender, but it was an Indian head 1900. I found these
Wow.
coins very early on. I call it beginner's luck. I haven't really been able to
Wow.
find very many V nickels since, but it definitely got me hooked, and it got me excited to see what else I could find.
Wow, you gotta wonder, like, who was rolling up this coin of pennies that they put that Indian head in
Yeah,
there?
yeah. I don't know. I think maybe it's just mixed into their change, and then they don't see it, and
Wow.
maybe they don't care.
Wow. Do
Yeah.
you check your change like Chad says all the time?
Absolutely, yeah. I haven't really been using cash as much though since the pandemic hit, because I don't want to be touching that stuff. But before that, I certainly was, yeah.
Right on. Now, with your channel, coin roll hunting seems to be the biggest part of your channel, and I gotta say, it seems to have exploded because you can go on YouTube any night, and there's a ton of people that are doing coin roll hunting.
Yeah, yep, yeah. There definitely are a lot of channels out there now. When I first started, there wasn't hardly as much. I can probably name like 3 channels that I can think of.
Wow, really?
I don't know if you guys know Stack Attack. Numis Nick was one who hasn't posted in I think 7 months now, and another channel who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, Hidden Treasure Hunter. Those were
Oh.
the big names back in those days. Coins
Mhm.
for Amateurs was there as well. I just didn't know him until a little bit later.
Mm.
Um, he's been making videos for a while as well. But yeah, I think it's definitely exploded recently. And everybody kind of has their own niche, things that they do. Like for instance, my thing, and a lot of people criticize me for it, is that I don't really look for errors and varieties.
Mm.
And like I said, people criticize me for that because there is a lot of good stuff out there. It's just not
Yeah.
really what interests me.
Mm-hmm.
I like to find stuff that's obvious, that's eye catching, like an Indian head penny. It's like, okay, that's definitely something interesting, something different. But yeah, I mean that there's other channels who focus on errors and varieties, and that's
Yeah.
great for them. And
Yeah.
whatever way you want to collect is correct.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
what it's all about.
Now, what denomination do you have the most success with searching? I guess, like it says, it depends on what you're looking for. But what have you found to be really successful?
I would say nickels are my favorite to hunt. I think there's a lot of variety. You have the Jefferson nickels going back to 1938. So the thing about that is that most people look at a 1938 nickel and think there's nothing special about that, but because it looks like pretty much every other nickel that they've ever seen. We did have the design change recently, but I wouldn't say it's recently enough for people to think that it's any different. So there's a lot of good stuff to find there. You can also find buffalo nickels pretty easily. I'd say maybe one every 1 to 2 boxes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So those are out there. It's not like the Indian head pennies, which are extremely difficult to find, or like a V nickel. Buffalo nickels are still out there. I think
Really?
a lot of people. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely nickels. There's also a chance for silver, even though it's a small percentage. We have the war nickels from 1942 to 45 that have 35% silver in them, and those do pop up every once in a while. I've been seeing less and less of them. I think people are starting to figure out, it's there, but every once in a while, people are turning in coins still today that they don't know are valuable, and those get back into circulation. So.
Wow. My goodness. Yeah, I guess people just get too they're not really thinking. They don't know. I guess, like you said, they just don't know.
Yeah, yeah, and I think we see sort of a spike around Christmas time.
Mm.
You know, times when people need money, they will turn in their coins, and you know, they're not, like you said, they're not really thinking about what they're turning in.
Yeah, that's true. Now, would you can we discuss the different denominations and kind of just for people in the chat who perhaps maybe have dabbled in coin roll hunting, but they're not really into it? Can we just talk about like what it is that you look for or what you can possibly find? Is that all right? All right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can do that. I actually have my coin roll hunting placemats over here that I can.
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about those a bit later. Definitely.
Okay, sure.
Now, let's start with the halves. It's not something that I've ever done. Canadian halves. I don't even know if I could even get those at the bank. But American halves. What do we look for? What can you find?
Yeah. So in the American half dollars, you're going to be, most people are looking for silver coins. So the 1965 through 1970 are 40% silver, and pre-1965, so 1964 and before, are 90% silver.
Wow.
And that's basically what people look for. Another thing, though, if you're not finding any silver, which happens quite often, you can be looking out for the not intended for circulation coins. Those are from 2002 up to the present. Basically, they haven't made a half dollar intended for circulation since 2001. So those are things that people do pull out. You will find, though, if you hunt a lot of half dollars, that they are a little bit more plentiful than you might have first thought. But it is still cool to at least pull them out and maybe get one of each year.
Mm-hmm.
There is also a not intended for circulation coin in 1987. So that's one that people look out for as well. And of course, there's lots of other varieties and areas that I'm not too well versed on, because, like I said, that's not really my interest. But yeah, I think that's about it.
So you're pretty much looking for silver stuff,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, 80% silver. That's pretty good.
It's actually 90%.
Oh, 90, even better. It's almost 925.
Yeah. I know. I think in Canada it's 80%, right?
Yeah. Before that would be like the really old ones would be the 925s, but still. 90% is pretty good. That's like free silver. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, there is a lot of work that goes into it. Like, I just had a bank open up yesterday where I used to dump coins, and I was finally able to dump a bunch of them. That's something that doesn't get shown on YouTube a lot, is the whole process of actually, bringing the coins to a bank to dispose of once you're done with them. So I've been kind of thinking about maybe ways I could show that, because that's the part of coin roll hunting that people don't see. That takes a while.
Now, when you're returning like halves, I can see like pennies and that sort of thing. But when you're returning half dollars, do you kind of get the looks from the bank tellers, like, where did these half dollars come from?
Definitely, yeah. You get that with the other coins too. If you bring in only, a bunch of pennies versus, what a regular person would bring in, like a mix of quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies.
Yeah.
You just have a bunch of pennies. They're going to be like, what are you doing with all these pennies? But I usually explain it, and sometimes I'll have a card and I'll give them, or I'll write down my YouTube channel on it or something. And they'll think that's cool. So,
have you ever made up a story as to how you got stuff?
No, I know, I try not to make up stories, but I know people do it every once in a while to avoid an awkward situation, I guess. Yeah, I guess if you say like, oh, I'm here to make a profit, it sounds kind of cool. But if you're like, I'm a collector, I like to find interesting and old coins, then I think people resonate with that a little better.
Right. Now, when you're for the new people, you should not be picking up coins from the same place that you're dumping your coins on. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Don't bring the coins back to the same place that you picked them up at, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it just looks bad to be bringing the coins back, and number two, you might get those, if you go and ask for more coins, you might get those same coins back. So that doesn't help you. So yeah,
exactly. Now, do you have a bunch of banks that you go and pick up stuff at, so that I guess the odds are in your favor a little more?
Right now, I just have one pickup bank and one dump bank, and I think that's because of I used to have two pickup banks. One of them started, I think they might have not liked me very much, because they started giving me all new coins Maybe that was just how it went, but I went 3 weeks in a row and got 3 boxes of brand new pennies. I think I still
Oh,
have them, and I was thinking
oh.
about maybe doing a hunt with them because there is this, you can look for things in brand new boxes. You can see if you find a blank planchet in a bunch of 2018 pennies,
Mhm.
then you kind of run into this rare situation where you actually know the intended date for that blank planchet, which would be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I never thought of that. That's
Yeah, and I
true.
guess people might not believe you, but at least you would know.
Well, and maybe you even got it on video, which
Yeah,
would be a
exactly.
good
Right, right.
thing. Let's move on to quarters because it seems like most people are doing a quarters. Now, once again, I would imagine you're looking at the silver.
Yeah, well, there's more to it with quarters versus half dollars, I'd say. Silver and quarters. Now, quarters, if you're just looking for silver, they got to be the hardest coin to hunt. And I'm sure that you can, maybe you see the same thing in Canadian quarters, because I've seen you had some Canadian quarter videos on your channel. Were
Yeah.
you ever able to find silver in those?
You know what? I don't think I have ever found a silver quarter. I've not found a silver quarter in my hunting. Not yet, anyways.
Yeah, they're difficult. I don't know. I think quarters get used a lot, and I think people realize when they have a silver quarter, it looks different. Um, I guess I'd say more so in the American coins than in the Canadian, because all of the Canadian rims look pretty similar, whether it's silver, nickel, steel. But here we have that clad look. So you have like that little bit of red and a little bit of silver color. It's
Yeah.
way more obvious that you have a silver coin versus a clad one. So
Okay.
silver is difficult in the quarters. I still don't know to this day how I was able to get a silver quarter during the pandemic. I was doing a hunt of just 10 rolls and was miraculously able to pull one out. I couldn't tell you how lucky that is. I think I must have had some sort of collection dump, because I also found a West Point quarter and a San Francisco quarter in the same little grouping of coins. But yeah, that is extremely rare. I think if you look at Rob's Finds Treasures, he'll tell you how rare it is. He hunts a lot of quarters and barely ever finds silver.
Hmm.
But there are a lot of other things to look for. For example, we have the 2019 and 2020 West Point quarters, and those may actually be more valuable right now than a silver quarter.
Really?
Because if you find a silver quarter, it's probably just going to sell for melt value, which is maybe $8-9. But if you find a nice condition West Point quarter, you can get $20 to $25 for that.
Really?
And yeah, that was crazy to me to see that you can get that kind of money for those things.
Wow. Do you think that's maybe now because there's a bit of a hype or something, or is that because of strictly on mintage, or?
I would have said hype if it was a year ago, but it's kind of stayed consistent.
Wow.
Those prices aren't really dropping. So I think those prices are probably here to stay and maybe even rise. But
Wow.
yeah. So it's definitely an exciting time. I think that's why people are hunting quarters so much, because you have that opportunity for a West Point. Whereas if you were hunting in 2018, I'm not really sure what you would be looking for. And, I mean, realistically, like you could be looking for silver. And also, if you see these collections books behind me down there, I have a goal to fill those out, but I think that they'll get filled out pretty quickly looking through quarters.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, we can do that, but it probably won't last very long. Get them filled up really quick, and then what else are you going to look for? Now we have 2019 and 2020 West Point quarters we can be looking for.
So is there like a set of different the West with the W's, or?
Yes. So I guess I should probably explain. So there were 10 million of each, 10 million West Point quarters made in 2019 and 10 million made in 2020. And then that 10 million is broken down into 2 million per design. So each year has 5 different designs.
Okay.
And those are part of the America the Beautiful set. I don't actually know all of the designs off the top of my head, but it's sort of in line with what we've been doing with the state quarters since 1999. And then we had the America the Beautiful quarters from 2010 going up through 2021. We've made a lot of different types of quarters here in the United States. And I know that Canada kind of did the same thing with quarters as well.
Oh my goodness. We have a ton. Have you ever found a painted Canadian?
I have not, but I have had them sent to me before. I think
Ah.
they're really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to say there's some people in the chat. I'm sorry. Treasure Talk is in the house. Backyard Treasures also in the house. The Russian War Diggers, my friend Yuri, also in the house. He's trying to get me to go to Russia in April, but we still have restrictions, travel restrictions.
Yeah.
Mayor Videos also in the house. Lisa in the house. El Nino Vasquez as well. Ryan, they're all here to see you. So right on.
Awesome.
So like you said, with the quarters, it's tough to get a silver in a quarter, but thankfully you now have other things that you can search for.
Correct. Yep. And there is always the possibility for silver, but it's sort of just in the back of your mind. It's not something that you should like go out expecting to find. But
okay,
it does show up every once in a while.
What about dimes? Again, silver?
Yeah, that's so dimes I think are in the almost like comparable for me at least to pre-2019 quarter searching. Dimes are a little bit better when it comes to silver. I used to say that you could find about 1 silver dime per box. I think that may have gone down a little bit. Maybe it fluctuates. But I haven't done much of dimes. I think most people kind of regard dimes as like the least interesting coin to hunt, but there is always the possibility for silver. They definitely make for short videos, I can say that.
Really?
I did a dime video like 4 years ago, and I'm pretty sure what I did was I snapped, and basically what I was planning on doing was like, oh, so we're going to be halfway through the box and then I'm going to show that I found a silver. But no, I just snapped and the whole box was empty. I'm like, okay, so here's what I found. Didn't get any silver. However, I did find some Canadian dimes.
Oh my goodness. Wow, really? I think the best for me, I have found silver in the dimes. But those dates for me anyways, you're young, you've got good eyes, but for me, I find it extremely hard to read those dates.
That's another thing. Yeah. I mean, with the Americans, the silvers stand out a lot more. So you don't really, if you're just looking for silver, you really don't have to read the dates. In the Americans, at least, you can just look at the edges pretty much. I know in the Canadians, there's like a slight difference between a silver Canadian and is it steel for the other ones, or I'm not sure what the dimes are made of.
They're made of garbage.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's definitely not as easy to tell as the American dimes.
Yeah. Now what we talked about nickels, so what's left is pennies. You're lucky that you still have pennies to search for. Is that a lot of fun, or what? Like you're looking for the Indians?
Yes, I think that is fun, and for me personally, I think it's even more fun than maybe some other places because I do get a lot of Canadian pennies. I know that I've heard from some Canadians who said that they can still get Canadian pennies if they go to the bank. I don't really understand that because
I've never. What I find is there's a lot of people that like have hordes of pennies, like in those big, and they're just trying to get rid of them. That's what I've found, anyways. But
yeah, I've bought Canadian pennies on the internet before, and I'm always thinking like, oh, I'm never gonna get this chance again. Eventually, these are all gonna be sold out. It's fun to look at. But yeah, back to the American pennies. So what I look for mostly is, like you said, Indian head pennies. Those don't show up very often though. I look for wheat cents, which go from 1909 to 1958. That's mainly what we're pulling out. We also have 4 different designs that were made in 2009. So and those are all relatively low mintage. So we look for those as well. Any type of foreign coins I'll pull out, mainly Canadians. Always looking for the older Canadians. I was able to pull out a King George V Canadian in my first box of pennies ever, and haven't been able to get one since.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't even think I ever posted that video. So that's gonna have to come out at some point. That's gonna be a very vintage Quins Coins video. Oh, and then there's the steel 1943 cent that we did here.
Okay,
in the United States. I haven't been able to find those in a machine wrapped roll, and that's mainly what I hunt is machine wrapped. But because I think that they get rejected or they get pulled out because of their weight. But if you look in customer wrapped rolls, sometimes people do roll those up without knowing what they have. So yeah.
Now, do you walk by coin stores and check coin stores? I know a lot of people do that.
Definitely, yeah. Every time I go to the grocery store, I think somebody else is checking it though, because I never. Yeah. If I go to a new city though, sometimes I'll have some luck.
Okay. All right. Let's if you don't mind, let's talk some equipment for coin roll hunting. And I just want to say that you have designed and produced your own coin mats for collecting. Let's talk about those. How did that come about? And if you have them there, you can show them to us.
Yeah, so this, I guess I'll just show them off real quick here. First of all, I'm sure most of you guys have at least seen a little bit of these. They are coin roll hunting placemats. Basically, the main utility of it, I was kind of tired. At first, I just used a washcloth. So I would do it, open a roll on a washcloth and then pick up the coins and dump them into some box. But I couldn't fit very many, coins on that washcloth. And also, I wanted to have something for beginners to kind of show them like what's out there, because I get this question all the time, like what should I be looking for? Now, this isn't a complete list by any means, but it definitely gives you a start. It's probably 90% of what you want to know when you're just getting into coin roll hunting. So on the top here, we have all of the different types of coins that you can find in penny rolls. These are all the different designs, at least in the Americans. And then we have some examples down here of some foreign coins that you can find as well. We have the Canadian penny there, and two euro cent, which comes up sometimes. There's plenty of others. And then that 43 steel cent I was telling you about, all the different 2009 designs, blank planchet. Sometimes you find dimes and rolls as well. Oh, and the proof cent. And then we actually have another side here. This kind of has a rule set for the Quins Coins coin roll hunting competitions. These are things that me and my brother did, and we kind of came up with this set of rules here. We also added some additional Canadian rules down here because, like I said, we get a lot of Canadian coins. But if you're not in an area where you get a lot of Canadian coins, you probably wouldn't use that. And then I think something that most people, if they weren't interested in the coin roll hunting competitions, they were at least interested in seeing these lists. It's like a short list. It shows you if you find something in this list, you know it's rare. It's going to be below 10 million minted. And if you find something in this list, it's going to be below 50 million minted. So between 10 and 50 million. And I think that a lot of people saw utility in that. Definitely has multi-purposes. One of the ones that I always neglect to tell people is that, like, yeah, these are really good for picking up coins and moving them over to another spot. And one thing that I've realized after years of coin roll hunting is that coins are dirty. You don't want to be touching them.
Oh, yeah. Just 1 sec. Backyard Twizish says, are they available to buy? Maybe you can tell everybody where they can get one before you go any further.
Okay. Yep. They definitely are. You can get them on my website at quinscoins.com. I'm sort of running low right now. I think I'll probably have to make them not available for a little bit before the new run of placemats comes in. Specifically, I'm running low on the silver stacking placemats. But if you go to quinscoins.com, that's QUINSCOINS.com, you can get them there while supplies last, and I'll hopefully be restocking once they run out.
There you go, Backyard Treasures, quinscoins.com. If you want to get some of those mats. Right on.
So, yeah, I guess I'll just move on to the nickel mat. It's sort of the same idea here. You have all the different types of nickels across the front side, and then here we have a couple different designs. I don't normally pull these out, but it is cool to kind of see them at least. We did some different things with the nickels in 2004 and 2005. And then over here, I'm trying to navigate this, it's like a mirror.
It's backwards.
Yeah. So we had the war nickels from 42 to 45. Those are 35% silver. Once again, we have the blank planchet proof nickel, another Canadian nickel right there, and then this one's not a euro, but it's I think it's like a Barbados coin that we found a few times. Oh, and then the 2009s, like with the pennies, are relatively low mintage.
In that middle row, I gotta say, I found one too. I found one of those newer buffaloes, which when I saw the buffalo, I was like,
yeah, I get a lot of comments, especially in the early days, about oh, you missed a buffalo, and I explain to people, no, that's just a 2005. Yeah. But sometimes even when I come back with that, then people say, oh, well, there's actually an error to look for in the 2005. They're actually called bison nickels. But, and there is an error to look for in those. And and I know about that, but just don't usually bring it up. And then kind of the same idea, we have the coin roll hunting competition score sheet. We also use these to rate boxes just to see how they are versus other boxes. You'll see that displayed prominently on Coins for Amateurs channel. He does that every day. And then we have our key date low mintage, and this one actually has a low mintage buffalo nickels range as well. So if you find a buffalo nickel and you want to check out if it's a low mintage, you check that list right there.
Right on.
And then the newest design actually, and probably the final design. I don't plan, at least at this time, for making any more coin roll hunting placemats. So this one's a silver stacking placemat. You have dimes, quarters, and half dollars all displayed on this placemat right here. Once again, just across the front side, you have the different designs that they made in each year. And then if we flip over to the back side, we don't have a scoring system because we don't really do coin roll hunting competitions with these types of coins. It's not really, made for that very much. But we do have some interesting stuff that you can find in the dimes. So here's your 90% silver dimes, 2009 is low mintage, and Canadian silver dimes. And I have to apologize because this is super not nuanced. I had to figure out how to get the most interesting, the best, information in the least amount of words. So all I could write is pre-68 and some 68 without actually giving the percentages.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll let that slide.
All right. And then we have 90% silver quarters, kind of the same thing. And the West Point quarters, this is probably going to have to change. I'm thinking now it says 2019 to date. It should be 2019 to 2020 because they decided not to continue those in 2021. And then the Canadian silver quarters, once again, pre-68, some 1968. Fun fact, I've actually found two 1968 Canadian quarters in my coin roll hunting, and neither one of them were silver, unfortunately.
You know what? I always have the magnet with me, and that magnet has always stuck to every 1968 that I've ever found.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. They show up, quite a bit for me.
I think they lied about those being halvesies. I really do.
Yeah, I haven't found one yet.
Yeah.
And then so for the half dollars, we have 90% silver once again, and then the 40%, like I said, 65 to 70, and those not intended for circulation halves, 1987, and then 2002 to date. And then just the last thing that we have on this placemat, which is different than all the other placemats, I actually show you what the edges of these coins are going to look like. Because like I said, a lot of people look for just silver, so they want to see what the edges are going to look like.
Yes.
And that's kind of what I actually took all of these pictures myself. It was quite a process getting them onto the mat here.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing coin roll hunts, and they don't even spill out the coins. They just flick very carefully the wrapper so that it shows, and then they're like, no, that's it. I'm like, that's no fun.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's why I tend to prefer nickels and pennies over dimes, quarters, and half dollars. I think I'm preferring quarters more now because there's more to look for than just silver. But that's kind of what I've been in the past. But obviously, quarters are really popular right now. I'm planning on doing a quarter series pretty soon. That's going to be pretty cool. So, yeah.
Now, thank you for filling us in on the different denominations. Now, equipment. Does a new person, do they need equipment? Or can we just go get rolls and start opening them up on our desk? There's stuff that's nice to have, but you really don't need it.
Yeah, I don't think you really need anything, and I'm probably shooting myself in the foot here, but you don't need this. This is a nice to have. It would be, it's really nice to have if you want to keep your hands clean. I guess another thing that I would say is not completely necessary, but definitely very nice to have would be gloves. So I use cotton gloves, and I have a link to where you can buy those in pretty much all of my video descriptions. That just keeps my hands. I only wear one per video, but that just keeps your hands clean while you're flipping through the coins, and you'll see the dirt on them at the end. It's pretty gross.
I swear there's stuff that looks like chocolate, and I hope that it's chocolate, but there's some real disgusting coins out there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think what else. I guess if you find a buffalo nickel, and this is sort of controversial, if you find a buffalo nickel that doesn't have a date, there's a product that you can use to reveal the date. It does damage the coin, but I guess the thought process is that if you have a dateless coin, what is that really worth versus a coin that you know the date on, but it is damaged? So I usually recommend to people to get this product called Nick-A-Date. I think it's right
I think you've done. Have you not done a video on that? I think I saw you do one.
Yeah, I've done a few, and I use it. We use it in. I think we've used it in a couple of competition hunts as well. It's this
Ah.
little product right here. This one's pretty old and crusty, but this can be used to reveal the date on either buffalo nickels or shield nickels if you're so lucky to find one that old.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's about it.
What about
for-
a USB mic microscope?
Yeah, so if you're looking for errors and varieties, if you want to see something up close, there is a USB microscope that a lot of people that like to get, and it'll show. I think it's only. I'm not sure if you know the price these days. It's like $20 to $30. I'm thinking on Amazon.
American. That's like probably $100 Canadian.
Right. Yeah, 20 to 30 USD. And that, it's just like a really simple thing. And if you hook it up to your computer, you have the software, you can look at it. You can look at your coin on the big screen.
Yeah.
There's substantially better ones that you can get more magnification on, but that's what comes to mind for me. I think I have that in my video descriptions as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely if you're looking for errors and varieties, I would say that is a necessity, especially if your eyes have sort of degraded over the years and you need some help seeing that type of stuff.
Kind of like me.
No, I feel the same way though. I'm a software engineer by trade, so I'm looking at screens all day and my eyes are not so good.
Yeah. All right. Now, you kind of mentioned it earlier that you've purchased some coins. You've purchased Canadian pennies. Do you? What has been your experience with purchasing stuff? Because I know one collector, I've seen him purchase stuff on eBay, and then he feels like he gets ripped off or that they're not really unsearched. What's been your experience with that?
Yeah, so all I've done is purchase boxes of Canadian pennies, and the thing about those is that I didn't know this because we don't really do this in the U.S., but they have a seal on them, and it actually has a stamp that says when this was sealed.
Yes.
That's pretty legit. I like that a lot. So that was sealed in 2012 when the pennies came out of circulation, and then it hasn't been touched since. So
exactly.
That's cool. I know that there are people who put rolls together. There are a lot of things on eBay. For instance, if you see a wheat penny roll that has 2 Indian heads on each end, or something like a barber dime on each end, that's put together. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I see that. I see that a lot. It's like, and you know what? And I'm a lot of. Should I say this? I don't know, but I've seen people on their videos, like they'll pretend. Well, maybe they'll pretend to open a box, and then like there's like fantastic enders, and I'm like, how do you get these boxes that have these fantastic enders?
Yeah, I mean, so it does happen. I'd say it's hard to say, who's like, making stuff up and who's not. I guess I haven't seen a whole lot of. Maybe you're talking some smaller channels that are just like desperate to get views, but yeah, stuff does happen. It's just it's very, very rare. And basically, what I do every video is I open the box beforehand to see if it's going to be any good. Because if there's nothing really going on, then I'm probably not going to make a video out of that box. I'll just open it off camera or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, I think stuff like that. Like I said, I have 2 very, very crazy stories: the 1911 V nickel ender, and then this 1903 Indian head penny ender. Those were both huge anomalies. I know it's probably difficult to believe. If I saw it on YouTube, I probably wouldn't believe it either. And I don't know what else to say other than to show that it's a machine wrapped roll. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like getting machine wrapped rolls.
Really?
You can show like, there's no way that this was put together.
Is a machine wrap roll the one that are kind of like rolled on both ends?
Yes.
Okay.
Those are done by machines at
okay.
I want to say the Mint. I don't know the whole process, but yeah. So I mean, I like doing custom wrap stuff because there is a really good chance for some great stuff. Like for instance, I did one recently and I found like 4 silver war nickels in a roll, but then I get comments saying like, well, you could have put that together, and I'm like, Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that. Like I could have, and I guess you just have to believe me on this, you know?
Well, and this is what I think goes back to credibility, because the
Right.
people that are saying that, maybe they shouldn't be watching your channel if that's all they're doing is watching your channel to find that, to create drama. Like, it's like, then don't watch, you know?
Well,
Ooh.
they might have a point, because you never know, if you're just seeing me for the first time, you don't know if I'm credible or not. So you don't know if you can trust me. And I sort of get that. If that's the first video they're seeing is me pulling out, something from a customer wrapped roll, I usually ignore it, but sometimes it kind of hurts me, and I'll be like, yeah, this is kind of why I don't like opening customer wrapped rolls, because then I have to get comments like this. So
Yeah, YouTube can be very, you need a thick skin sometimes.
oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Frederick Romano, 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗏 Coins, Detecting Okanagan, the Metal Detecting channel, 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗔𝗟𝗪. My goodness, thank you all for watching today. And I know I haven't said this, but if you've not checked out Ryan's channel, you definitely have to check it out, watch some videos, and big subscribe action would be nice too,
Definitely. Thanks.
Now, very, 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 very early on, one of your videos, actually, I think it was in the title, Dang Canadians.
Yeah.
Have you come to embrace Canadian coins?
I have, and it's kind of interesting because we used to, in our coin roll hunting competitions, this is something that's changed, and I'm not sure that people have realized this. I think I need to make an announcement, but on the placemat, we used to count certain Canadian nickels, like for example the steel ones, and then steel pennies. We would actually count those for negative points.
Oh,
that was a little bit controversial. We had quite a few Canadians in the comments saying, "That's not cool, man. Like you can't be counting negative points like this." and ever since then, I decided to change the placemat just ever so slightly in that Canadian section. So now, instead of counting negative points, basically, if we get the 99.9% nickel ones, those are 5 points. And then I think instead of counting negative points, I think I added one which we hardly ever find, a Centennial 1967.
Ah, the bird penny.
Yes,
that's pretty nice for 15 points.
Actually, that one's for the nickel, which I think is a rabbit.
Oh, is that the nickel? Ah,
yep.
Oh, the rabbit. Yes, that's a nice coin too. The Centennial set is actually a really, really nice Centennial set.
It is, yeah. And that's actually one that I've liked ever since I was a kid. I think I have, I'm not sure where it is, but I have a whole set of the 1967.
Very
I really
nice.
like the $1/2 and the dollar coins too. I think it's like a Canadian goose on there.
Yeah. That is a really, really nice set. So what is, first of all, do you find, we might have touched on this, do you find a lot of Canadian coins?
Definitely, yeah, I do. Mostly in the pennies. I think I find probably 5 Canadian nickels per box, and always looking for the pre-19, I think 1982, so 1981 and prior. Those are 99.9% nickel. I have a little collection of those going. The rest of them I just kind of put into a pile. A lot of people tell me in the comments, they're like, well, that's not really worth much. That nickel is worth 3 cents, in USD. And some people get mad at finding stuff like that, but I definitely have learned to embrace it, and I think the Canadian coins are super cool. I think I have definitely a unique opportunity being this close to the Canadian border, and I think I actually looked it up. Your PO box address, we're only like 3 hours apart. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. That's like nothing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's hey, if you know what, if you ever need something to fill in your coin book or anything like that, you just let me know.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I usually try to find things
that
way.
Yeah, I get that. So you kind of referred to them this off the back of your shoulder there. Your coin books, is that your preferred storage and display for your coins?
Yeah, and that's sort of how I like to hunt, is to fill books. That's sort of my interest, my way of hunting.
Mm-hmm.
For the rest of things, though, I don't really have a very good method for storing the extras. I mean, if I find something that's really interesting, I will put it in a flip like this, and then I put it into a binder. But for everything else, it kind of just goes into jars or bags or whatever. If it's not anything super valuable. If I have a bunch of, just extra Canadian coins that don't have anything really special about them, I'll just kind of put them all together in one spot.
Now, like I said at the beginning, you seem to kind of you're not only a coin roll hunter, because you kind of dabble in other things, but you are also a metal detecting person, are you not?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. I have been doing metal detecting videos ever since I started the channel, pretty much. Had a bunch of different little mini series of those going on. I think that out of coin roll hunting and metal detecting, I probably enjoy metal detecting more, just because of the exercise that you're getting, getting outdoors. And there's almost no limit to what you can find metal detecting, which I think is, you're somewhat limited with coin roll hunting, because what you find has to fit into that shape of coin, and it has to be in that denomination. But with metal detecting, there's so much more to look for. I still try to keep it coin focused, because it is Quins Coins. If I find a relic, I'll show it, but it won't be like the front and center thing.
Right. What metal detector are you currently using?
So right now I'm using the ACE 400. I've had that for a few years. Thinking about upgrading for sure, probably going into to this summer season. But yeah, I'm using the ACE 400 right now.
You actually have a metal detecting series. I think you might have just started it kind of recently, but where you're actually looking to find coins to fill a book.
Yes, that's correct. I actually have that down here. So these are the collections that I'm trying to fill.
Wow.
It's basically a series that should probably last my entire life.
My goodness.
There's no way that I'm going to get everything in there, especially stuff like peace dollars and any dollar coin for that matter, because they're just not very popular. But yeah, it's been a fun series so far. I kind of ended it abruptly, and I need to probably do some sort of recap and then get started again. The videos don't do as well on my channel, but it's still something that I like to do. I kind of hate the idea of being stuck inside during the summer when the weather is so nice. I like to get out and do stuff. Even if the channel's not doing as well, it's something that I like to do, and it's sort of something that's a passion for me. So.
Now, I know that a lot of the books have just like a spot where you plop in, that's very technical, where you just, I guess, kind of jab in the coin, but there's some really, really old ones that have like that plastic thing. You don't recommend that, do you? Like the little plastic thing that you just slide it in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure about the proper way to store coins. I guess if you have any tips for me, then I'd probably take those. I guess I can show. So I mean, there's different types of collections. These ones down here, these coins are coming out of the ground, so they're not going to be in great
that's
shape
true.
anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried. But then I have collections like this, and this is what I'm going to be using in my my quarter. You can hear it's like completely brand new. I don't think I've ever even opened this yet. Are you talking about these little plastic things?
No, those you just kind of just jab or push it in, right? Is that?
Yeah. In these ones you do, and it's all cardboard. These ones are a little bit more fancy. They have these plastic sliders which slide out, and then you can put them in that way.
Ah, okay.
Then I have I think this might be. So I have the Canadian Small Sense. I don't know. Are you familiar with this book?
Is that I've got some old books. Yeah, I don't even think I've seen that one.
These ones are pretty fancy. They're not like they make them in the U.S. I had to get this through a special Canadian eBay.
Okay. All right.
They have sort of this thing going on, so you pull this
Oh,
out.
that's interesting. Never seen that before.
These are plastic, and you kind of have to get them apart, but you slide the coin in there, and then so yeah, there's all kinds of different types of books that you can use. This is the one that I use in my Coin Quest pennies series, and these are all Canadian pennies that I found in American rolls. You can see I'm pretty capable of filling things out here this close to the Canadian border.
Yeah. Wow. Not too bad. But actually, I kind of like that last one, because you slide it out. Your coins aren't going to fall out because they're they're really protected in there.
Yeah, definitely. They are.
Right on. So, which came first? Did the metal detecting come first, or did the coins come first?
Well, I'd say as a kid, I was introduced to metal detecting, so I guess that came first. But coin roll hunting and metal detecting. Okay, I guess I didn't say this. So really what I wanted to do was metal detecting. That's like when I started out making corn roll hunting videos. The problem was I think it was around November or December, and the ground
Ah,
was already frozen. It was too cold to metal detect.
yeah.
So I had this bank that was basically in the same building as me, and I just decided to give that a try. And that's kind of so. I guess with YouTube, coin roll hunting came first. Then when the snow thawed, I went out that season,
Mhm.
in the spring and started making metal detecting videos. And then they've kind of been intertwined. Like I don't think there's been a year where I didn't make a metal detecting video, but they are
Mhm.
definitely not. I don't make as many of them as coin roll
Mhm.
hunting videos.
I think one of the coolest things that you found metal detecting, you found that, do you remember that Illuminati coin or token or whatever that was?
Yeah,
That
still not
was
sure.
that was pretty cool.
Still have no clue what that was all about. I
Really?
think I have it. I think I have it over here.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely an interesting find. Here it is. Oh, I was also able to find a Canadian quarter. I think in the same video. Yeah, it was the same video. I got Canadian quarter here. This was
Oh, right on.
one of the older ones. I think 70.
Yeah, it's probably in the
74.
70s. Yeah.
I really like the toning. If you find these in the ground, I'm sure you found plenty of them. The toning on these nickel, it's 100% nickel, right?
Yeah, it's very deceiving, is it not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting sound on the detector.
Yeah.
But it's got sort of a rainbow toning to it, which I think is really cool when you find those nickel Canadian coins. And then yeah, there's that token that you're talking about with the can't remember what that's called. It's actually on our money, which I
Is that
find super weird.
the pyramid with the eye in it at the top?
Yeah, yep. Yep, that's the one. And then
That's
on the other side they have the eagle, which shows up on our $50 as well.
I gotta say, I was like really surprised when you showed was it the $1 bill?
Yeah,
And
yep.
those on the back of the $1 bill, the American $1 bill, those two, the front of that coin or token is on the one side, and then the other one is on the other side.
Yep.
I just thought that was fascinating.
Yeah, it goes back many years to when we had secret societies in the U.S. and stuff like that. I don't even really know if I want to get into it. It's pretty crazy stuff.
You might find that you're being followed by men in black suits after this
Yeah, right.
after the stream, so we will definitely not go there.
Yeah, the funny thing is right next to that, just a few minutes later, I found a pocket knife, which I'm sure there's no relation, but I thought it was funny anyway.
You know what? I absolutely love finding pocket knives. Gotta say, I really, really love finding pocket knives.
Yeah.
Just we're kind of winding down the show. I'm kind of just picking a couple videos that I thought kind of stood out from your videos. You were attacked by Canada geese.
Yeah, pretty much. I almost thought about staying put to get an interesting video, but then I thought, is it worth it to really be attacked by these things? It's funny. I was out on a walk a couple days ago, and I saw a big group of them out on a pond that's still frozen, and they actually woke me up yesterday because they're so loud. We have so many of them over here. They're an interesting.
They can be very vicious.
Yeah, very aggressive, especially during the springtime.
Yeah, for sure. Now,
and the one almost took my find. It kind of lunged for the quarter.
That was funny. It's always best just to step back and just let them move on their them move on their way. Now, you've also tried magnet fishing. I don't know. I think I saw one video. I don't know if you've ever posted another one, but
just one. Yeah, just
one. How did that go? Because most people really don't have too much success with magnet fishing.
Yeah, I think you're just kind of limited by what's magnetic. So you can't find precious metals obviously with a magnet. So that sort of limits it right there. And that's something that I love finding silver stuff, and you can find plenty of silver stuff with a metal detector and also with coin roll hunting, but you're not going to find anything silver with a magnet.
Yeah,
I think we kind of had to define like what is even out there when it comes to magnet fishing. You can find like weapons, I guess, and then that's sort of the most interesting things that you see.
Found a gun, murder weapon.
Yeah, exactly. And then they call the cops.
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, and we didn't really find a whole lot of interesting stuff, but still, it was like one of the most fun things I ever did. And
Really?
so I don't know, it's interesting. We went right up by a dock, and that's where we had the most success, where there's just a lot of people in and out.
Yeah.
Every time we threw the magnet in, we get something. So even if it's not, it's just screwdrivers and boat clips. And I think we found a mirror, which was probably the most interesting thing. I wasn't sure if it was a boat mirror or a car mirror, but yeah, I mean, there's interesting stuff. It's just, it might take you a while to find it.
Yeah, it's it's kind of hit and miss, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, right on. Coin collecting with Tyler has just joined the chat. Corey the treasure hunter. I don't know if I said he was in the chat, but he's here. Depth Spader also in the chat. So Ryan, we're kind of like winding things down. It's we're going into a little bit of overtime. But what is next? What is next for Ryan? What is next for your channel? What do you hope to do? What would you like to do? Let us know.
Yes. So in the near future, I think probably starting next weekend, I'm going to be starting a Coin Quest Quarters series. I know we're getting towards spring as well, so I'll probably be starting up the Ultimate Coin Hunt again. Maybe I'll do that more towards summer. I guess it just depends. And then from there, I guess I'm not really sure. I don't usually think too far ahead with these types of things. I do like live streaming. I want to try to get a setup. And I tell people this all the time. I move around a lot, so internet and all that has to be figured out. But pretty soon I'm going to be moving into a place where I'm going to probably have like a dedicated space just to do YouTube stuff. And I'll make sure that I have really good internet connection and all that so we can do live streams. I'm sure you've probably run into some internet and issues like that before, because I know you do a lot of live streaming.
Yeah, the internet, and then internet specifically, but then your computer too. And you know what? When you live stream, stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but that does interest me. I want to do more of it. And so hopefully we'll be doing that type of stuff. Maybe do some sort of collabs with other channels as well, although that hasn't always worked out in the past. It's mainly my fault. I need to just get myself organized. but yeah, so just on the horizon right now, we have Coin Quest Quarters, probably do dimes at some point as well. It just won't be a very long series, I don't think. And then a lot more metal detecting stuff hopefully coming up this summer.
Right on. So remind everyone, how can they find you on social media? Where can they find you? Where are you on social media?
Yeah, so I'm mainly just on YouTube. I have a difficult time keeping up with all those other ones, but I do have an Instagram. I do have a Twitter. I'm on Reddit. I'm not under Quins Coins, but you might find me.
Oh, Reddit kicked me out. I got banned for life on Reddit.
Uh-oh.
Those, you know what? Reddit people are very serious about things.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah. And I'm trying to think. I also have a Facebook page, most of these things I just use to post when a video's gone live. In case you're not on YouTube all the time, you can see it and click the link. I don't usually post like exclusive content or anything like that right now. But yeah, I'm just mainly on YouTube. I just try to keep up with that as best I can.
Right on. And just remind everyone again with your website in case anybody out there would like to get some mats. Yeah.
It's the website is quinscoins.com. So it's just like my username is spelled QUINSCOINS.com, and you can get your placemats there. And I'm hoping on updating that pretty soon as well, and trying to get that to not look like it's from 1990 anymore.
That's okay. There's just so many things, it's just, there's not enough time. There's just not enough time to do everything that we want sometimes. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Ryan, thank you so very much, seriously, for joining me today. It's just, I've been wanting to chat with you for a while. Glad we finally kind of got things together. I'm gonna give you the final parting words today.
Okay. Yeah, well, it was really great being on. I don't usually do stuff like this. I feel like people think I'm not like super approachable or something, but I know I'm definitely open to do this kind of stuff. I've been, I've seen a lot of people on your show and definitely have been wanting to get on for a while now. So I'm glad we got it together as well. So yeah, thanks for having me, and I guess we'll talk soon.
Right on, right on. So remember, Quins Coins, if you enjoy coin roll hunting, magnet fishing perhaps, definitely coin roll hunting, check out Ryan's channel. And if you watch some of the videos, leave a comment, give him a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe. It's all about networking. It's all about supporting each other's channels, and that is what we do. So thank you all very much for joining me today. Until we meet again on the tube. Ryan, thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Have a great day, everyone. Get your official Diggy Canuck merchandise at Teespring. Mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Remember that every purchase you make helps to support the channel. Check out the link in the description down below.